king, I am not a god, I am Encore!
What's good, Tano? Today's video is about the Coda Hirudo. How to build it? To take down level 9999 steel path enemies in Warframe, or known as the level cap and the highest level in the game. But first thing first, let me show you what this weapon is capable of. And welcome back, Tano! As always, hit the like button and subscribe for more content, much appreciated. And before I build my weapons and my warframes, I rely on my method called DVS. Before I mod, D, how I'll be dealing damage, what elements I'll be using, what's the faction I'll be fighting, what's the weapon unique trait, or the evolution if it's in Canon. V stands for how I proc 10 stacks of viral to make enemies vulnerable by 325% more damage to their HP. S stands for stripping enemies armor to lower their damage reduction to deal higher damage. And of course, we don't use any ribbons in my channel to make sure that you can copy the build without spending any cent from your platinum. I use Revenant, so I don't boost the weapon in any way. So you can apply this build in any Warframe of your choice. And if you choose to apply it on a Warframe that boosts damage, like Sarin for example, or you can Vex Fury from Chroma, Roar, Eclipse, etc, etc, that will make this weapon perform even better. Let's go. Now, if you don't like my methods on how I will proc Vara and armor strip enemies, it's okay. You can check this sheet right here. It can help you maneuver around my methods to find your own style. As in Warframe, if you know, you know. You can do things in many different ways, but the result pretty much is the same. I'll be running 2 Emerald Darkon shards to push the stacks of corrosive from 10 to 14, so you can armor strip enemies with weapons or with a helmet ability like the Tempest Barrage. The companion can't because it stops at 10 stacks of corrosive, maybe in the future. Now, I'll be running 3 Violet Archon shards for 25% melee critical damage. When max energy is 500, the damage boost is doubled. And of course, we have that energy. Now, when it comes to Revenant, and you can apply this in any Warframe you want, Steel Charge is optional. It's not necessary 100%, so you can go for Brief Respite or whatever you want to go for. Arcane Fury for damage, this is important. Arcane Strike for attack speed, optional, so you can change it for any other arcane that you want. Viral Tempest is the augment of Tempest Barrage. Tempest Barrage is the Hydroid subsumable ability to rain corrosive stacks on enemies, and with the Emerald Darkon shards you will reach 14 with Tempest Barrage to armor strip. When you run the Viral Tempest augment, you will proc Viral as well. So one ability, stripping and procking Viral at the same time. Now, when it comes to the Hirudo, the unique trait. Critical hits have 5% lifesteal and increase maximum health by 5% for 15 seconds, stacks up to 25%. Now, frames like, for example, Naides or Inaros may benefit a lot from this, so think about using this Hirudo with one of those Warframes, will be really good. The invigoration will be electricity, and I got my chance and take it at 60%. It doesn't really matter 25% or 60%, really, it's not really big deal, honestly. That makes you like, oh no, I will not build it before I get the 60%. No, don't do that. Just like keep going. Grim Fury for the stance, Dreamer's Wrath to enable Tanukai and increase opportunity chance by 50%, and critical damage by 32% for Tanukai attacks. What's Tanukai? When you perform normal attacks, there is a sword will pop in your screen. When you perform a heavy attack, it will be free of combo multiplier. and it become yellow. Simple as that. That means you did a successful Tanukai attack. Blood Rush, increase critical chances, stacks with combo multiplier. 12 combo multiplier is 440% critical chance. Galvanized Elementalist, 80% statue damage, which is multiplicative. And on melee kill, 30% statue chance for 20 seconds, stacks up to 4 times. Now the weapon will be modded for electricity, and the statue damage will be multiplicative. And also we got Slash, which will not be transferred with melee influence. We're gonna talk about it in a second, but it's multiplicative as well. Whipping Wound, 40% statue chance per combo multiplier. Primed Smite Orikin is multiplicative damage against the faction you are fighting. Now, you replace it every time you're fighting a different faction. I highly recommend, my suggestion, actually, not recommendation, my suggestion to the E that they give us a way that we can exchange our primed or normal faction mods to a universal one, and that will help us a lot. And if you don't like to use the multiplicative faction mods, it's okay, there is different ways you can go around that. First thing first, you can go Primed Fury for more attack speed, or you can, if you want to, you can go for Prime Pressure Point, but I don't advise this, only if that's all what you have, alright? Because you got the Condition Overload, don't do that, okay? So Primed Fury in here, just I want to say, Primed Pressure Point is the best one when it comes to boosting all your stats, including your Slash. So keep that in mind, but I don't recommend it for now. Now, the other option you can go for, of course, you can go for Boss Kill if you want to push your Slash above, but I really try and make electricity as high as possible for influence to proc as much. But my favorite will be the Gladiator Might in here, okay? The decision is yours, but for now, I don't mind changing the faction, so I'll go for Smite Orikin. Now, by the way, I was using the Smite Orikin against the Grineer on level cap, so the weapon wasn't showing its full performance, but you get the point. Galvanized Steel for critical chance and 120% critical damage. Condition Overload for 80% melee damage per statue type affecting the target. Now, the more statues the target has, the more damage you will deal. And if you don't like to do any of that, you know, the solution is always Primed Pressure Point instead of Condition Overload. Voltaic Strike for electricity and statue chance. Organ Shatter for critical damage. Now you would say, why Voltaic Strike? Now, Voltaic Strike will give us a bit statue chance. If you see right here, that without Voltaic Strike we have like 18%, and then Whipping Wound giving us percentage of the 18% will be like awful. So Voltaic Strike with Whipping Wound applying a statue percent after your base statue chance will be a very good. Now, melee influence. On melee electricity statue, 20% chance for elemental melee statues, not physical, elemental. Means like toxin, gas, etc. To apply to enemies within 20 meters for 18 seconds, cannot refresh while active. Now, in the meaning of, some Thanos gets confused, like when they proc electricity and melee influence proc, and they proc again, and they say, oh, why the influence is not working again? Because you can't apply it while it's active already. That's a lot of Thanos what they don't get. Now, the whole idea of influence is to transfer that electricity statue to all enemies, to CC them, and also multiplicative galvanized elementalist and multiplicative Orikin creates a mass destruction weapon. And with this weapon, which is really powerful, it's just really crazy. Now, of course, there is a lot of ways to go with different arcanes and stuff and that, but I like melee influence with this weapon. Now, not amount to sustain your combo, otherwise you can run the dexterity arcanes on your primary and secondary to keep the combo duration, totally up to you. And for the companion, use whatever you want. My favorite is Nautilus to pull enemies with cordon, Duplex for the clones, Assault to attack, Vacuum to pull the loot, Manifold for more cordon, and then Shield Armor Health, Reinforced Bond for fire rate, which is irrelevant, but Tenacious Bond for 120% critical damage. But you can achieve this and activate this buff only if your Sentinel weapon has 50% plus critical chance. Now, there is many Sentinel weapon you can go for, Primed Laser Rifle, Volclock, or the Burst Laser Prime. But if you have a Riven, you go for the best Sentinel weapon, which is the Veriglass Prime. And you need a Riven because that's the only way you can push the critical chance of it from whatever it is to 50 plus to activate Tenacious Bond and use the best Sentinel weapon, Veriglass, in there. Otherwise, you can use Smoke Bomb or whatever from Ash. Depends on how you want to boost the crit of that weapon, and this is the build. And I noticed some Thanos asking me, Hank, why you use the Bane mods in here? Because my Veriglass can actually kill level cap. Yes, and I have a video in the channel, you can go check it out. Now, if you don't like to use this, you can replace it with anything you want, like fire rate or another element, anything you really want, okay? No issue in there. Now, let's try this weapon in Simulacrum. And as always, heavy corrupted gunners, level 230. It took me a while to get used to the 230. I got used to 225. Now, I will try first without the Tempest Barrage. There we go. I mean, we are just 3 combo multipliers, guys. We didn't reach even the 12 combo. Let's go. Let's try to get our 12 combo really quick. Of course, you can use the Rauta and I don't know, but I just don't want to limit your options in your arsenal. I just try to make it as, like, the weapon relying on itself as much as possible. 5 combo multipliers, and as you can see, this is so broken and really powerful. It's like overwhelm those enemies with power. And honestly, the Coda Hirudo, I don't see Thanos in my community talking about it, so I came to the point where I feel it's very underrated, to be honest, but it is very powerful. As you can see, I'm destroying them without even the need of like 12 combo multipliers yet. Now, of course, I take my weapons to level cap to make sure that the build scale. And as you can see during the speedrun, it's take longer time to kill than what you're seeing right now. It's just one-shotted right there. Because the enemies at level cap have a higher AHP. And of course, when they have overguard, it scales as well with them. And it makes it really crazy. As you can see, enemies is dying without even reaching the full DVS. Now, a lot of Thanos misunderstanding what is the DVS and why I use it. When I say DVS, guys, I always say my method. In the meaning of, the DVS is my way of increasing the damage against enemies. You don't have to follow it, alright? I know there is a lot of ways to multiplicative damage like you're seeing right now, and you don't have. So please don't misunderstand the DVS as it's a must in my channel. Now, let's go with Tempest Barrage, fully armor stripping those enemies and proccing viral. And of course, you'll see a huge damage increase, 48% right there. 48 million. And now you understand from 4 million we was doing normally. From 4 million we was doing normally. Now with full DVS, armor stripping enemies, and proccing 10 stacks of viral, we managed to do 48 million. And that's really powerful, to be honest. That's really powerful. And as you can see, it's doing 1,200,000 and so. Heavy go, because heavy attack sometimes pushes enemy away and the simulacrum get messed up. Just like, let's get them armor stripped and on. Go. All we need is like, look at that, 3 million on normal attacks. I mean, the enemies are dying before I even like get to heavy attack or any of that. Okay, let's summon Thrax right here. Here are the enemies, really quick. Boom, Thrax spawn. Now, same thing, same. We're gonna just go Tempest Barrage. Go, and then boom. Everything is pretty much dead. Now, a lot of Thanos thinks that when they use Naramon or they use any other like Fox School, they can't kill Thrax Centurions, which is very wrong. Now, the difference is on Madurai, you get the Void Strike and the 1000% damage, and the second ability will make enemies vulnerable by 50% on Void damage. It's really powerful. But any Fox School, as long as you can land headshots, you'll be good to go. Now, for example, if I shoot him in the body, as you can see, 100, 200, whatever. But if I land a headshot, 1 million. Now, because Warframe, the way it is, of course, not a lot of Thanos likes to land headshots. Because sometimes it's hard and so on and so on. But it's part of the game. Headshot multiplier exists, you like it or not. If you don't want it, other players will make use of it and it increases your damage. As you can see here, body 100, and as you can see here, headshots will be higher. He just looking the other way. There you go, 800 and so on. Here you go. Boom. I failed to land the headshot, but you can see right there, it gets confusing sometimes, but with some practice you'll be fine. Now, if I use all my energy with spamming the abilities like so, I will activate the Onslaught and Eradicate, which Thanos think that's the only way to activate. They're just turning the other way. I need to just go from here. Right about here. Now, of course, if you don't like to do so, you can just go with a different amp. My amp is 177, Replic Prism, Proper Scaffold, and Certus Brace. There you go. You can just use the second alt fire, and as you can see, we managed to clear them. It will take longer on level cap, but you'll be pretty much good. I've seen some Thanos actually leaving some Thrax alive when they're taking squishy Warframes to level cap, so they can revive themselves with one Thrax kill, but you don't want to overwhelm yourself with Thraxes, but up to you. But this will reach the end of our video. I will give this weapon 8 out of 10. It's worth it 100% to craft, to invest your forma in, and the best thing is to watch my videos to know how to build it, so you don't waste 5 forma on random polarities and then you'll be like, oh my god, I need to build it now because I like the weapon. So follow me so you get the right builds for your Coda weapons. Of course, a lot of Coda weapons in the channel. Only 2 remained from the 18 weapons, and then I'll be finished with the Coda weapons and we start with the exalted weapons. I want to say thank you so much, you and everyone watched, liked, commented, followed me on Twitch, followed me on TikTok, joined my Discord, the link on the description. Big love to you all, and thank you so much for all your amazing support. Without you, I wouldn't have made it this far. And I want to say special thanks to Hall of members, special VIPs, and disputed donator and Hall of donations for all your amazing support. You guys are amazing, and all my community. You guys are the best and the best community out there. Big love, and I will see you next time.